Greetings, greetings. How are we? How are you? It is an autumn day in London town. For some reason, sirens are going and helicopters are flying up above. And I'm in one of the green areas called Highgate Wood. And it's been a while since I last did a podcast, and for those of you who may be aware, I've had some time off from Facebook. I felt an urgent call to unplug from things that draw and take my energy on some level, or take my attention away from where I am. And I've been going through a very deep transformational process over the past 18 months to 2 years. And I don't feel as if I'm quite cooked yet. So there's a sense of still walking through and trusting, as this is ongoing, trusting what is happening, trusting what has been let go of, and that includes areas of myself that I had strong attachment to in terms of identification, and that includes aspects of Alaenura and Sacred Whisper and me as a singer and me as a woman, so many things like that. And it actually feels on some level, well, on quite a few levels, that I am transcending gender and sexuality. And what I mean by that is that I'm becoming, it's something I've been aware of before for a while, but I'm far more aware of and living out that part of me that is not my gender and not my sexuality. The soul being that resides within me, that androgynous being that resides within all of us, which allows me greater scope to connect with the soul being that resides within each and every one of us, beyond gender roles, all that stuff that comes with that, and one's sexuality. So that offers me huge peace and a huge gift in my ability to connect to another human being, because of course we are not our bodies. This is just a vessel, temporary vessel at that. So why allow certain aspects of our identity to define us to the point where we start playing out stories and dramas in this area? So there's that. And I was off Facebook for over 40 days, and I believe it takes something like 40 days for new neuro pathways to connect. And I've been back on now for about just over a week, and there's some areas where I'm beginning to feel certain aspects of anxiety. I had learnt and have learnt to lean back into life. To have enough space for me to observe what's going on, because if I'm too much in it, then there isn't enough of a vantage point of awareness for me to feel the field that I'm existing within, and therefore to be able to do anything about it, to either pull back or to accept the process. So I've learnt to just sit back. I don't have an issue with being with myself and unplugging, but I'm realizing at the moment it's still quite a difficult thing for me to be around too many of other people's energies, because I've been stripped so much. So many aspects have been stripped, so many aspects that I believed were aspects of protection, even, to protect me and to hold me in the world. So many of those areas have been stripped back, and I'm very pleased about that. because it gives me and leaves me with a deeper sense of sensitivity and therefore vulnerability. And vulnerability is one of those things I've often spoken about, and that is a deeper sense of self, to be able to tap into all the various realms that exist within the human soul, and to be able to share that. And it feels as if the work that I am being prepared to do with humanity and other human beings is to help other people to connect with these areas of the soul. It is really the soul work that is important. The soul is the conduit between the material and denser area of our human experience, and of course our lighter spiritual aspects. So it's the soul work that really needs to be done. And the same way, if anyone goes to see a psychotherapist, it actually means a doctor of the soul. And the question is, are there enough true doctors of the soul who can help navigate someone through the realm of the soul? It's the soul work that is really required of us at this time. The same way we are learning to have a relationship with ourselves, that soul relationship, the acceptance of all that we are, and how imperative it is for an individual who's working on themselves on a soul level to be looking for, and I have to say it's imperative, if you are looking for or open for some kind of a soulmate, that individual is also consciously working on themselves on a soul level. This is very important. As far as the world is concerned, it seems to me as if, since 2012, there has been sort of a hangover, which is a great metaphor, which I heard Lee Harris mention. A hangover. So people are kind of like, what was all that about? Slightly intoxicated, even upset. The fact that they allowed themselves to get so carried away, and yet it seems as if nothing quite has happened. What was expected, or what people expected to happen, didn't quite take place. So there's this sense of people being in some sort of suspended animation, and people going into their heads a lot and questioning what it means to be spiritual. The work really, from what I understand it, is human evolution. That is what's happening. If the planet in itself is evolving, and there's a huge shift, cosmic shift that is happening, then of course we are evolving as a species as well. But this has to be something that has to be done consciously. It seems to me as if humanity has often waited until our back is against the wall before we do anything, and quite often it's a little bit too late to really affect change and to make a difference and to do what we know we should be doing. So for us to evolve, it is a conscious evolution that's happening. We're not going to sprout another pair of ears or more teeth or more legs or more limbs or grow a bigger head. We already have the majority of our brain that we don't use. So it is a period now of expansion, of evolution, expanding into our fullness. So that means really getting real in terms of what we have been hiding away from, what we have been hiding away within ourselves, bringing that all out to the light. So that's the kind of work that has been going on, which is a little bit of a anticlimax for people who were really expecting starry beings to arrive on the planet and all these flying saucers to come and save us. Salvation is something that is in the hands of every individual. This Christ consciousness is within each and every one of us. religions have come to a point now where they're really in a duel, because they're having to come to understand that that salvation is within each and every body's hands, and that there isn't a chosen group of people. It's up to us. If you look at the planet from a distance, there's only one planet. So what affects one affects all. What affects all affects one. There should be no difference between a child in Africa who may be scraping away for food, or a child in New York with an iPad checking to see what the latest apps are. So this is where we're at. This is what's happening. It's a real face-off. It's us having to really have a look at our own illusions and delusions, what we have created as real, and how Mother Nature is showing herself, and how we are being encouraged to step and to embrace Mother Nature, to merge, to re-merge with her, and know that it's good, to create a new way, and to also include the way of our ancestors and the ancients, and those who have gone before us. So this is really a time now, for those of us who are entering the time of autumn and then winter, this is a wonderful time for reflection, to look at our lives and how we have been, our relationship with ourselves. Are we just plodding along? Are we just sort of in apathy on some level? Are we just hoping that all of this stuff is isn't real, this spiritual journey, so to speak? The thing is, the spiritual journey actually is a human soul journey. And whether we like it or not, no matter how much we try and cover it up with drugs, alcohol, sex, Facebook, money, there is something happening just in the background, and that's our soul. When we go to sleep, the reason why we have dreams is so the soul can recalibrate, can actually make sense and rebalance all the various things that are happening. That's why some people have dreams of well-being, and some people have dreams of nightmares or whatever. But the truth is that it's the imagery that actually make it feel like a nightmare or something beautiful. Dreams are a whole different topic, which I'm not going to go into now. But our dream state, or our sleep state, should I say, is a way that our soul can rebalance itself and reboot and recalibrate, and to help us make sense of certain areas that we're not able to understand. But as we work on ourselves and we expand our awareness and our consciousness, then our dream state and our waking state begin to merge. So this is what the Native Americans and so many other indigenous cultures realized, that consciousness is also a dream state. There's that song from our childhood, which is, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And I feel that there's some sort of truth in that. We tend to take things so seriously in terms of what reality is or what reality isn't. And yet I understand there are some aspects of reality in terms of shelter and food and stuff that is real and tangible, which we need as physical beings. But there's so many other ideas and stuff that we just accept quite easily and allow them to define us. So anyway, I'm going to leave that with you for now. My name is Alaenura, And I would like to thank you and encourage you to just be with yourself and to be gentle, to be kind, to listen to the space, listen to the silence, and to maintain a state of well-being, which is really important, to discover what helps and supports you in life. So look at areas of noise, look at your diet, look at exercise, look at the people you have around you, look at the music that you listen to, look at what you watch, whatever you tap into, and begin to temper that or have some sort of measure stick and see, if these things are really serving you and what tends to throw you off balance. And there are some amazing exercises there for grounding and for you to connect to the earth and for you to also connect to the star that you are and the star that is shining, the light being that you are, and that whole starry realm that we are always connected to. Because after all, as human beings, we are the conduit between heaven and earth. So I leave this with you. My name is Alaenura. I wish you well on this beautiful autumn day. The sirens have stopped. The wind is blowing. And I send you love. Namaste. Namaste. Butterfly kisses.